Do you think Southern cooking is nothing but grits and gravy? Well, think again. On today's menu, barbecue giant Ed Mitchell hosts a traditional pig picking.
As a barbecuer, the first thing you gotta know is about the pig.
The evolution of Southern Jewish cuisine.
It's heavy, it's rich, it's Southern, it's Jewish, it all kind of comes together.
Sustainable trout farming in the heart of Appalachia.
It's good for the ecology, and that's something that we're proud of.
A Chapel Hill chef brings a taste of Asia to North Carolina.
We're doing specifically Asian food, but it has a specifically Southern character.
To me, Southern culinary culture is a marriage of black and white, of pork and corn. But this place is, the same size as Europe. It's a diverse place. I'm in North Carolina right now. Big, long state. Going from the Far East, the coastal plain, to a city like Chapel Hill. A sophisticated city. As you move west, subsistence farming, you're in the mountains. When I show someone my South, I want them to see a complicated place. I want them to see beyond moonlight and magnolias. I'm John T. Edge. I write about the American South. I write about its food. I write about its culture.
North Carolina's culinary heritage is as diverse as its landscape. In Eastern Carolina, it's all about whole hog barbecue, and almost nobody does it better than third-generation pitmaster Ed Mitchell. A restaurant owner and caterer, Ed's on a mission to keep this old-style tradition of barbecue alive.
Everybody's barbecue in North Carolina. Regardless how it's prepared, it's a dish that always is synonymous with good times. and that's why everybody loves it. I'm Ed Mitchell. I am a barbecue pitmaster.
That's a beautiful hunk of hog flesh, Ed. This is a noble and long tradition of the South. And those folks in our region who know what to do with a pig, who know how to marry smoke and meat and do it well, we call them pitmasters. Ed's one of the best.
Looking good. As a barbecuer, the first thing you gotta know is really not about you, but it's about the pig. Hey, John.
Hey, Ed.
Come on over. Come on over. Mary got a good crop of barbecue pigs for me.
Ed is a student of barbecue traditions. He remembers what the hogs of days past taste like, and he wants to rekindle that taste. He is rekindling that taste.
I'm looking for the best flavor, so I want to get as close to a natural product as possible. And so finding someone like Mary is like oh my goodness, like a dream come true for me. We're on the farm of Mary and Nelson James. These guys are small hog producers.
Okay, ladies.
These guys are raising pigs, what they call free range.
Pig. What make our pigs so special is because they don't have any antibiotics, growth hormones. My husband grinds his corn and soybean meal. I know you're still hungry. They can have all the natural
Sweet potato cold.
Sweet potato. I mean, you can hear them popping peanuts.
Oh man, that's where the flavor comes from.
That's where it comes from.
Realize that, yeah. When we say free-range pork, organic pork, you may think of the only way you can get this stuff is at a 5-star restaurant, high upscale restaurant, but that's not so. This product is coming from a working class farmer, and it's going to be served to working class people, and that's really what this is all about. Okay, John, let's go pick out one.
He doesn't want them.
No, he doesn't
He don't
want
want to
it.
go.
I think you heard what our plans were.
This is heaven for them.
I like this guy, John, because his ears is kind of perky. He looks healthy. There's no sores, and he's about a good size. He's about 275, 280. Yeah.
And you're not gonna find any sores on my pig.
I'm sorry, buddy.
When you see him again, he'll be on the grill.
Barbecue in North Carolina is usually pig, almost always pig. But as you travel the state from east to west, it varies.
I think he's about ready to go.
The kind of barbecue that Ed Mitchell does is quintessentially Eastern style.
Yeah, we got two types of wood here.
Yep. So you got oak and hickory?
Yep. This is very important because this is what we call like icing on the cake as it relates to flavor. And we're ready to rock and roll.
Eastern North Carolina barbecue is defined by whole hog. Skin side up to start.
Skin side up to start. I will go on record and state my little reputation. You know, it started with the whole hog. We wanted you to have the flavor of the pork loins, the tenderloin, the belly that we make the bacon out of, because it has different flavors bursting in your mouth.
Different textures,
Different
too.
textures, yeah. Now, what we're going to do now, we're actually going to give him a salute when we send him off,
Yeah.
pat him on the ham, and let him know he's done well. He will serve his purpose.
The pig will end up as the centerpiece of a traditional North Carolina barbecue called a pig picking.
Okay, we're going to lock him down now.
Everyone gathers around the smoked pig. Everyone reaches in, grabs their own, picks the carcass clean, literally, of all the smoky, tender, wonderful, juicy, fragrant pork.
All right, well, let's put him to bed.
Just leave him alone.
Leave him alone.
I'm gonna be first in line. I wanna be straight up, ready, first in line.
He's going to make somebody very happy in about 6 or 7 hours.
Later, we'll join Ed as he treats his neighbors to a traditional pig picking. But first, an unexpected spot for an award-winning trout farm.
This was tobacco land at the turn of the century. My dad, in 1965, had a vision, I suppose. He came here and he saw this land and thought, this is a great place to put a trout farm.
Bet you didn't know that some of the finest rainbow trout comes from Appalachia. Sally Eason's Sunburst Trout Company is North Carolina's longest-running trout farm. More than just eco-friendly, this family business has earned international acclaim for a line of products that just may surprise you.
They're really lively. Way to go. Oh, yeah, that looks beautiful. Look at that color. And that's a female.
I think when people think about fish farming, they think about a huge industrial operation. They don't think about something artisanal. They don't think about something sustainable. They don't think about a small family farm. And that's what you have here. I'm Jane Daniels-Lear. I'm an editor at Gourmet Magazine, and I'm here at Sally Eason's Sunburst Trout Company, which is in the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains.
The fish live in raceways, and it is a virtual river.
And this is perfectly pure mountain lake water.
Right out of the Pisgah National Forest. 12,000 gallons a minute.
Wow.
That 12,000 gallons a minute is going right through that raceway and back out in less than a minute.
Oh, look at these happy guys.
This is mimicking nature. It encourages the fish to keep swimming upstream.
So they're active.
Strong, healthy, and tastier for us.
Yeah.
In the last decade, trout fishing, trout rearing in North Carolina has become the second fastest growing industry. It is certainly replacing tobacco in this state's economy. It's good for the ecology, and that's something that we're proud of. Someone else uses the water after us. All of our waste product is composted. We try to recycle every single thing, even our packaging products.
The Easons are in the forefront of the sustainable fish movement. And now they're making caviar.
When you think of caviar, you think of black, little tiny eggs that came out of the Caspian Sea. You do not think of Appalachia. My dad was strolling through the processing plant one day, and it was the fall, so the females were spawning, so there are fish eggs all over the floor, and they're really sticky and viscous, super messy. So he says, I wonder if we couldn't do something with this. And everybody just rolls their eyes and goes, oh gosh, here he comes up with another idea. And so there began the Odyssey. This is it.
They're beautiful.
Aren't they pretty? The covering that you see, that is the skein. If the skeins are broken,
Does that mean
it's probably past its prime. There's a real fine window to when the eggs are just right. If you miss it by as little as 2 weeks, you could lose as much as 10, 20,000 pounds of caviar.
Timing is everything.
It is.
Oh, wow. It's like we're mining for gold.
Exactly. This is an age-old technique. You just gently press down and you'll feel the eggs pop through.
It's so fun.
Now, you ready? Take the screen off.
Look at that. So, Sally, tell me what exactly turns trout roe into caviar?
technically, only sturgeon roe can be called caviar. It's not unlike champagne versus sparkling, so it's sort of like a literary liberty.
Yellow gold.
Yes, exactly. So now we're going to add salt and sugar.
It's oozing.
It is oozing.
It's a primordial ooze.
That's good. It's got a good pop.
They just sort of detonate against the roof of your mouth.
That's what we're going for.
Yeah. Like the really precious, precious stuff from the Caspian, you just want to hold on to that taste as long as you can.
The mythic South that I think we think of, the place of plantations and cotton fields, it's there, but it's a much more complex South, really, in truth. I think people don't really associate the American Jewish experience with the South, but it's a really significant part of American Jewish history because the earliest Jewish community is in New York. The next significant synagogue is in Savannah in the 1730s.
Gorgeous. Don't you feel that sense of camaraderie with Jewish women all over the world? They're all making brisket right at this moment on a holiday. I love that.
I'm Marcy Cohen Ferris. I'm the author of Matzo Ball Gumbo, and I am a Jewish Southerner.
It's Rosh Hashanah in Chapel Hill. Marcy Cohen Ferris invites friend and private chef Penny Rich to prepare a Southern Jewish meal for their New Year's celebration.
Yeah, that's looking good. More beautiful. Seared, spice, and there it goes. So that's the whole Jewish part for me. But then, being in North Carolina, being in the South, that's where the barbecue piece came in.
Right. Taking a brisket and putting barbecue sauce on it, or taking a matzo ball and putting Creole seasoning in it, it's just fascinating to me. Barbecue in the South clearly means pork.
Right. So if we were going to have barbecue, we went to the Dixie Pig, don't tell anybody, and we never even brought it into the house. You know, how the Jews in the South deal with barbecue, this is how they deal with it.
Right.
My connection to my own family's recipes really began with my grandmother Luba's recipe box. I found a recipe box when she passed away, and in that box you saw her Southern Gentile friends, you saw her Jewish friends, and to me it really represented a culinary history of her journey from Odessa, Russia, all the way to Blytheville, Arkansas, via New York City. I wanted to take the history that I found in this box and to put it into words on paper.
Have you ever made this one, the pecan?
No, I would not put pecans in kugel, yeah.
This is really great.
Jewish foods are really about the country of origin. So when Jews come from different places into the South, they bring those traditions, and then they add Southern ingredients.
This is really the base of pralines, isn't it? It's the butter, it's the brown sugar, and the pecans.
Exactly. It's heavy, it's rich, it's Southern, it's Jewish, it all kind of comes together.
You say matzo ball time, or?
I think so.
Yeah.
There really couldn't be a more iconic Jewish food, I think, than matzo balls.
So it's just like a Southern dumpling.
Right.
I think about the way that African American cooks in the South have really added the spices to traditional Jewish dishes, like the matzo ball.
And how much are we going to put in here?
2 to 2.5 teaspoons.
Well, that's quite a bit then.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, these are spicy.
I mean, they could not make a dumpling and leave it as bland as the matzo ball traditionally was. So they had to add maybe a little garlic, maybe some scallion, you know, a little oomph to it, the Creole spices, and it took it up to another level.
So these are peppy.
Yeah. Ooh, something's ready. This is not a new Jewish way of cooking. This is really very, very old. And what she's done is she's taken these recipes and brought them into our everyday life. Hi! Happy New Year! Yeah.
Rosh Hashanah is the Jewish New Year, so it's a very significant moment in the Jewish calendar.
Oh, we've got matzo balls and brisket. Please eat.
To me, I thought it was nice to mix the ideas of a Jewish moment where you really want to gather family and friends together, such as Rosh Hashanah, with the idea of a Southern drop-in.
It's so good.
Hello, everyone. We're going to do just a little blessing over the wine. I don't know.
It mixes it all up together, and it brings together these really great traditions.
Don't cry.
So we're going to cook our pig's head for the pig's head tureen.
Don't you pick that up. That's heavy. You're going to hurt yourself with your delicate
It's heavier than it looks. When I lived in New York, I had a static idea of Southern cooking. I used to always have a New Year's Day party where I would serve like Hoppin' John and grits and think that was really fun one day a year. This is just some ginger. But when I moved here, I realized that Southern cooking is whatever people in the South are cooking today.
When Chef Andrea Rusing moved to Chapel Hill, she missed the taste of Asian food so much that she decided to make it herself. With its Pan-Asian menu and Southern hometown feel, critics are calling the Lantern one of the best restaurants in America.
We call it head-to-tail pig terrine on the menu, but we're thinking about changing that to head-to-tail pork terrine.
Ah,
I think that might
yes.
sell some more. So now we're going to saute it.
At Lantern, Andrea creates Pan-Asian dishes with down-home Southern ingredients that include heritage pork, locally made cheeses, and the most amazing vegetables.
Oh, those are gorgeous.
The easiest way to make these is to put them
Wow.
in hot oil.
Great.
In her kitchen, she transforms these ultra-fresh ingredients into dishes from 5 Asian countries: Thailand, Vietnam, India, Japan, and China.
We're doing specifically Asian food, but it has a specifically Southern character because we're using local ingredients.
This is going to be so good.
We're using a banana leaf to wrap it, and that gives it a really good fragrance.
That wonderful herbal.
All the ingredients that we're using are really traditional, except we're putting like a little white wine in there.
How could that be bad?
How could that be bad?
The seasonings are really very simple. Cassia, star anise.
Yeah, it's just a couple things. It's just the black pepper and the fish sauce and the wine. The seasoning needs to be pretty intense just because it's going to be so cold when it's served.
Right. So, I mean, it's a very rustic pate.
It'll look prettier on the plate. So we serve this with whatever pickles we have in season.
Right.
Especially when I'm pregnant. We like to have pickles on a lot of things.
Great. I can't wait.
So the turnips are down in here.
Even though the recipes that we use are not strictly Southern, the animals and the vegetables are raised in Southern soil, so it's Southern food. We're doing them with a pig's head terrine.
Wow, cool.
Alex and Betsy Hitt at Peregrine Farm, they've been farming for 25 years. They're great friends to the restaurant community, and we get a lot of amazing things from them.
These are sun golds, right?
Sun golds. And I always say that this is the essence of tomato flavor.
They're gorgeous.
Delicious. Well, we're gonna need a bunch of these.
All right, good.
Because these are gonna be great in the salad.
You have just amazing varieties here.
We're always trying new ones every year. Of course, folks like Andrea really help us in that. You know, there's standard things we grow, tomatoes and that kind of thing, and there's special things that she approaches us for. You know, shishito, it's a new crop for us.
So these shishitos, this is a Japanese pepper.
That's right.
Hot one. Only about 1 out of every 5 is hot.
Yeah. And that's the thing, they're variable speed.
Your lucky day.
It's exciting. The farms here, the diversity of farms here allows us to do different things in an Asian restaurant context than you can do in San Francisco or New York. Because we're using local ingredients that, you know, at that given moment are not available anywhere else.
The star anise really comes through.
And that's all eating out is about, right? Is like some kind of excitement and some kind of unexpected thing. And
It's great tomatoes with a shiso vinaigrette, and we've got shallots in it.
for that moment, in that time, it's a totally unique thing.
They're just knock your socks off great.
And that's a fun, exciting thing to be involved in.
Back at Ed Mitchell's, it's time for whole hog barbecue at its best.
Yeah, buddy boys, we here. Fun's getting ready to begin. Okay, John, we're at the final moment here. Oh, boy.
Wow.
Let's see here. That's going to be real good. Now, he's going to get the chopping block. Yeah. Okay, he's ready now. What we're going to start doing now, we're going to start seasoning half of him for the pig picking.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take the other half and chop up for barbecue sandwiches and things like that. Oh, yeah.
It fell off.
That's good.
Ed, this is a piece that fell off the back of the ham, didn't it?
That's correct.
Oh, wow.
Man,
That's good naked, Ed.
Yes.
You can taste the smoke.
That's right.
It's naturally moist. The meat's beautiful.
Yeah. And now, as a barbecue pit master, I'm very pleased because I know that they're going to get a good quality product.
Right.
I know what this hog has been fed.
Right.
You know, this reveals his true flavor.
Yep.
So we're going to just chunk that off there. to start seasoning them a little bit.
You gonna trust me to do this?
Oh yeah, you can't make a mistake.
All right.
Yeah,
good.
just go for it.
I don't want to steal your recipe, but you start with cider vinegar.
Right, I got salt, and black pepper, crushed red peppers, and a few other good stuff.
A little bit of sugar?
A little bit of sugar, not much.
Is this something that was passed down through your family or something you came up with?
No, this is passed down. This is about a 150-year-old deal here, yeah.
Like a tossed salad of barbecue.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it. Okay. I can't go without tasting it. I just want to get the flavor of the meat in my mouth.
Yeah. You happy?
It's pretty close.
What's it need?